All right, welcome to our first stand up for Group 30 Monday session. Um, Currently, Matt speaking. I guess I'll go first. So, what I have accomplished is going through the tasks. I've been working on one and two, uh, continuing to work on one and two, and working on documentation, learning the different documentation methods that seems like he wants on the template. So we just got the template here. Uh, so I was working on shared agreement, user experience, and interface, as well as the appendix B team norms. So I've got the team norms and the agreement draft completed. I just need to format. Um, the only challenges I'm running into are not having any idea what's going on with the tasks, but it looks like that's been cleared up. Um, so that's really all I have. Uh, Mr. Lake, you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, so this is Cooper Lake speaking. I set up the initial GitHub repository and I've started looking into Jira, assuming that we're expected to use like a DevOps platform for managing that kind of stuff. And then going forward, once I have a little more clarification on what input validation we're actually going to implement, I'll start writing the test cases for task five.
Nice. Any challenges?
No, I think it's just I don't know exactly what if we've decided what input validation we're adding, and so I haven't been able to make those, so I'm a little blocked on that. But as soon as we figure that out, I'm good to go.
Cool. Brandon, you want to go next?
Yeah, I can go. So I've looked through some of the user stories and figured out what might need to be changed and what is a little bit the same, and trying to think about what I precisely want to implement into the code. And then also looking through the ed discussions just to clarify what is exactly required of us. And the challenges is mainly that clarification of what is required, and like the template and the user stories, just trying to understand how that all fits in before we actually take some action.
Nice. Max, you're up next.
Yeah, so hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Max. I guess I'm working on task five, which is like a screencast about like explaining the code and stuff. Some things I looked at is like some of the user stories and um like in the Java FX, like figuring out how the database works in the code. A challenge or some challenges that I'm kind of scared of is like underestimating the amount of workload we need to do and like how GitHub's like compatible with Eclipse. Um, yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome. Thank you. Ripken?
Okay, this is Ripkin speaking, and so I just went through the user stories, basically like what Braden and Max were saying, just reading through the admin and the user stories, and then just understanding what needs to be done. And then I also started setting up Git, setting the root directory on my Mac on my local device. And then the biggest challenges is, I think Braden said it, where just looking through a discussion, figuring out what needs to be done at what date, and then kind of just what stories are important, and then just mapping out how we're gonna get that set up.
Cool. Peter, you're up.
Okay, this is Peter. This week I was primarily looking through the user stories and kind of designing this, like looking at the specification of things we need to implement and differences from the initial homework one. So, for challenges, I found definitely that like the sort of vague assignment descriptions were somewhat of a difficulty for me to figure out what we needed to do, especially considering like with regard to the coding requirements. And so figuring that out, I think after figuring that out with the TA office hours and the ed discussion, I believe I will be working on again just user stories and like kind of uh, breaking down the new sort of requirements and what's necessary into sort of more functional specifics.
Perfect. All right, good stand-up meeting. We're going to stop the recording here and we'll go on to our strategy meeting.